Kita in Sacred Health Rumaha. And I don't know why I am recording this right now, but since I have no one to talk to, my grandmother just died last month, and she stood up as both my parents, my mother and father. Kind of miss her. So, like, right now, I'm not entirely alone. But you know, when there's something in you that's you feel empty and that you have nothing, which I couldn't deny that I have nothing anymore. My grandma used to be my every my everything, even up until now. She's my everything. Growing up, having her as my best friend, my enemy, my teacher, my doctor, my nurse, every role she played in my life. She's great at it. She's like literally the example of jack of all trades. She's a teacher, and that's the reason why I have taken my course, Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. But here I am right now. I'm living with my relatives, and I'm so happy that they let me stay here. Here I am right now, and I am unemployed. What a journey it has been indeed. Reminds me of Leia. Leia Salonga used to be my entire childhood. Ever since I was a kid, I started singing 3 years old, and before my mom and dad, separated, my papa, he influenced me when it comes to music, but the real influence when it comes to my passion was actually my grandmother. Because back then, when my mom and dad they decided to separate lives to separate ways and build their own families, I was fetched by my grandmother, and then she raised me. I transferred. I moved in with my grandmother when I was like in kindergarten, and we would sing songs. My first song, actually, that I memorized was the song of ABBA. Thank you for the music. Yeah, it was thank you for the music. During times, those moments that I've spent together with my grandmother, we were singing songs, and she's there. She's always there for me whenever I'm reading books because I love reading books when I was a kid. And then there were these dialogues. She would listen to me while I was reading. And then, yeah, we were doing it during our pastime. And we would create these characters in our head. She would assign that for this character, she's going to read the dialogues, like with all the feelings, the emotions, and all facial expressions. And same as mine. Same as mine. I would do the same thing. I just miss my grandmother so much. But because of her, I learned to be strong. I learned to be strong. She taught me a lot of things. Everything that I have in my life. My passion, my dreams, these ambitions. I did not just discover this myself, but she helped me discover this. Because like growing up, I never really knew what I wanted. My grandmother was there to figure things out. So it's not just entirely me on my own figuring things out myself. She was there to guide me and to help me when it comes to self discovery. I loved poetry because of her. The first poem that she introduced to me and she challenged me to memorize the entire poem was actually All Things Bright and Beautiful. And then back then when I was a kid. You know, when we're bored and we would look at each other and she would say, "You know what? I have this thing in my head. Why not we'll write poems and then we'll exchange poems?" We would go there in our veranda and then she would challenge me. She would say that you make a poem about whatever you see in the garden, and then I also do the same thing. And then I loved that we did that kind of activity because there were actually a lot that we did together. So I would look at my surroundings, her as well, and then after we'd exchange poems. She would she would read it for me. She would correct my grammar. She would correct the spelling and everything because she is a teacher. So every day is really teaching because my grandmother was an educator. But despite of those, the error, the grammar errors, grammatical errors, she appreciated me even in small things, even when I just burst singing randomly. I felt so talented because of my grandmother because she would say, "You know what? You really have a good voice. You, I think that you will be a singer someday." Things such as those. Yeah, I started singing when I was 3 years old. I grew up singing ABBA songs, Disney, classical, and theater songs because of my grandmother. That's when I discovered Leia Salonga because of her. I discovered The Journey, I discovered Miss Saigon, I discovered Les Miserables because of my grandmother. I discovered my childhood dream, my fantasy, playing as Kim in Miss Saigon because of her. The funny thing was, when I was a kid back then, she would let me sing atop the table and she would recommend songs such as I forgot that song. It was by Willie Revillame. What was that? Dahil sa'yo naramdaman tunay na pagmamahal. I forgot the title. Yeah. Yeah, whenever she's bored and she just wanted me to sing, and then after that, she would recommend, she would suggest. I love my grandmother as a critic when it comes to things because I know when she's going to comment something, it's for your own good, it's for you to improve. And that's why when I was a kid, I never really got easily offended because I accept constructive criticism because of my grandmother. I love her so much. Oh no, I feel like peeing. I think I'm gonna pee first. I'll post this. Post this. I'm back and I just moved here. Uh, I don't really know if you can hear me, guys, but my earphones and my headphones. Yeah, the other earbud is broken. So I'm not sure if I am audible now, but I think I'm gonna find that out after I end this video. So yeah, going back. Going back, my grandma, she's my everything. She gave me everything. I never knew what I really wanted in life, but I figured those because she provided me everything. She acknowledged my curiosity. She was the one to feed me with knowledge about a lot of things, not just educational, but even in life, how I should be strong, not entirely resilient, because there are things that I need to stand up for, that I need to defend myself, especially back then. I used to be bullied, but I have forgiven those people already because, knowing kids, they had, they have their struggles as well. And coming from me, I've had my traumas, my experiences at home. So, with regard to their behavior, we were children back then. We were so young. We never really had any idea that those things could affect us long term, like bullying. But yeah, because of my grandmother, she fixed my insecurities. Every insecurity that I had in me, within me, she was the one who made sure that I wouldn't lose the confidence that I have when it comes to doing things, especially with being authentic. She taught me how to be authentic. That no matter what happens, I should keep on being myself and I should never dictate society. I should never I should never let the society dictate me. That's why I love my grandmother so much. She wanted me to be authentic in life. As long as, my authenticity shouldn't be an excuse for me not to have a character development. If I know that being too authentic leads me to being, being bad and rude towards someone, that's not being authentic. That's not being authentic at all. She really taught me how to be a kind, understanding, and a gentle person. That no matter how life is going to slap you so hard, you need to get up on your knees, you need to fight back. You can complain, but you should never give up on life because that's just life. That's what makes life fair because all of us, we thought that life is being unfair, but the truth is that's the reason why life is fair because we all bear the unfairness of the world. And I love that. I love that. I miss my grandmother. I really miss her. That's why I named my little angel Lily. 2017. 2017. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. She could have been 8 years old now. Even though I never wanted what happened, it never crossed my mind to abort her. Never. I loved her, even if I wasn't able to hold her in my arms, breathing. I loved Lily. She's named after my grandmother, Lydia, and the nickname of my grandmother is Lily. That's why I called my little angel Lily. Sudden silence. Yeah, I don't really know, like, what's the point of sharing. I don't really have, a main topic but I just woke up and I have this heavy feeling and that I needed someone to talk to with, and I kind of like feel expressing myself now. I am not alone, but I feel so empty. I think this is the feeling when you finally lost the person who means everything to you. Nothing compares to that kind of pain. Nothing compares to that kind of pain. And I don't, right now I feel so hopeless because I did everything. I sent my applications for more jobs, but nothing seems to work out. And on site, I did try on site. However, I don't have any other choice because I also don't have the money to rent. And my everyday needs like food essentials. But I got accepted. I got accepted to different companies, but I couldn't proceed. The rent is just too high. It's too expensive and I can't afford it as of now. And all that I have is just here, my laptop. And I couldn't also sell this one because this was given by my grandmother. This was given by my grandmother. This means everything to me. I have my phones as well. However, my phones, I'm using it for communication. Tried everything, every option, nothing worked out. But I always keep myself, I always tell myself that everything will fall in its place still. I just need to be patient and I just need to trust God because God has the perfect timing for everything and I still trust Him. A lot of people doubted me. I mean, everyone did. Everyone doubted me. Everyone did doubt me, but never my grandmother. She really believed my potentials, the abilities that I have, my skills. Never in my life I got insulted, degraded, doubted by my grandmother. She was the reason why I survived life. I could have like ended my life before, but she is the reason why I lived longer. And I could still remember her. She said during those years I was so depressed. Oh my gosh, why am I crying? I'm sorry. Being dramatic. During those years, I was completely depressed, and every day is like a meltdown for me. Every day is like a meltdown for me. Yet she was there. She was there. She was always there for me, giving me food, always asking me. I was alright, checking upon me, giving me water. I locked myself in my room. I avoided people, I isolated myself, I wasted my opportunities in school because my brain is also resting. My brain was resting. My brain was resting because I no longer even participate. I no longer talk. I no longer speak my mind. That's what happened during college days. But still, my grandmother never doubted me. I remember that night she cried to me and she said that I couldn't give up because the reason why she's still alive is because she wanted me to graduate. I graduated. I graduated. But there's this part of me is aching up until now because I wasted everything. I could have excelled in school. I could have not listened to every word thrown against me just because I speak my mind. I could have listened to that inner child who used to be so confident, trusted herself, but I was being hard on myself. I was really being hard on myself. That I fear failure. My fear of failure led me to stop trying things, to stop getting the opportunities that I could have had, like showcasing my skills, my abilities, my insecurities. When I was like walking up on stage, and then my grandma was with me because, yeah, she was the one who walked with me while I was making my way on stage, or yeah, to accept my diploma that I graduated. I made it, yes. Then there's this sudden feeling that I wasted all my grandma's sacrifices. I could have been a great student, I could have excelled academically, but it's just me. I don't know what's up with me. I know that I'm not lazy, but I was not. I was really not lazy. Then I just couldn't understand why I couldn't get up, why I couldn't speak my mind, why I could no longer finish everything. I couldn't even start. Sorry about the rooster. Yeah, I could have made her proud, but I failed. Because all along, the people weren't actually not the real enemies that I've battled with. It's myself. Because we all have battles. Every individual has. I listened. I doubted myself. I was too hard on myself. All along, it was me. Now I'm here. I don't know what to do with my life, and I'm just like waiting for those applications sent. Remote jobs, hoping that I would get accepted. But still, I pray to God, whatever plans that He has for me, I'll still patiently wait. Because I know that I've gone so far because of Him. I've gone this far and I don't want to quit. I don't want to quit. Goodness. I've never cried for a month. I think this is a good sign. It's a good cry because when my grandma died, I wasn't able to fly back to the province because I don't want to fully convince myself. I don't want to convince myself that my grandmother already died. I don't want to enter the city. I don't want to enter the city again. Step foot. Because what's the point of flying back to the city anymore when my home's finally gone? My province. My grandma, she's my home. She's my home. So yes, I don't really know. I don't know what's the point of me sharing all of this. or it's just me talking to myself. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching this boring and full of drama video. I just want to let you know that do not give up on life. I know it's hard, but everything's hard. Nothing's easy because that's just life and you need to accept that. That the world is not going to adjust for you. It's either you quit, be a sore loser, or you fight back and you do you. Because that's life. If life's big, you know what I mean? I cannot say the word. Then always think that you're a bad bee as well. Or a bad bee. And believe me, I know that you're tired of, you know, always hearing from these people saying that just pray. Believe me, I've been there. But prayer really works. Prayer works. And I keep praying, keep praying. Do not doubt the power of God when it comes to working on those prayers that prayed to Him. Trust Him. Actually, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well because sometimes it's not that I doubt God, but it's just my emotions. You know, I love God. Always remember that God loves you. It might be impossible because you're going through something right now, same as me and same with the others. But God really loves you. He sees what you're going through, and you're here for a reason in this world. And if you're still alive, that's because God has still plans for you. I think that's just it. Ooh, it's already 27 minutes and yeah, going 40. Wow, this is so random. I think that's just it. And thank you so much. God bless you.